Hi, and welcome to my first box opening for the Overpower Edgar Rice Burroughs and the World Legends. Over here I have the decks from the New York Comic-Con, mostly just to kind of compare how these look, if I think anything looks different. I sleeved those up and played with them once. It was my first game of Overpower in 20 years. So we're going to start off here. We're going to start with the, looks like it's the little promo pack. Me and my brother, we split one of the higher tiers because we're pretty excited about it. A few things, like, it doesn't seem like we're going to have any local support. Tried all of our card shops, which is a little disappointing, but hopefully we can see some stuff come along when Invincible shows up. Have a few local friends who might be a little bit interested. Lots of my friends are playing Commander. So I believe these promos are like foil versions of promos that were released at various tournaments that they've been doing since they reacquired the license for Overpower. A few things I just want to note with the promos. Fine with these getting reprinted, it's limited. But man, some of these, like the non-foil ones, are just constantly being reprinted. I really think that they should look at what makes a promo, what does that mean. I always feel like promos should be something that's barely available for a limited time. It just kind of seems like they're not. I believe a lot of this art is Gonzo Man. I'm not sure on that one. The style is a little different. I was able to pick up a lot of these previously, so my brother is going to be the proud owner of most of these. So there's ones I bought him a lot of these just off of Orange King from Larry, so go support Larry. He does good work. He ships so fast too. These, I love seeing sketch artwork. It just looks so awesome. I feel like maybe I should have gotten 2 of each. I'm not sure how that was planned out, but very much like that art is fantastic. Love to see more Gonzo Man here. Also, Beowulf. Let's see a World Legends 2. I want to see Beowulf, Athena, lots of those guys. Here's the Zeus card. This is a promo from last fall. One thing I'm going to note is I see that there's a Kickstarter logo here. I hadn't noticed that before, so I'll be really interested to see how this particular card differs from the foil character stacks that come out. Here we have the different events. Looks like maybe just one event. That's probably the only events so far. Yeah, so we have, this card looks a little faded. I feel like mine looks a little different than that one. Love the art. Like, this stuff is great. I love that this is a little bit more old school fantasy. I totally get that some people don't like the sexy girls in here. That's totally fair point. I think games have places for both. This is a promo from the Few and the Cursed. It's like a Brazilian artist who's his comic book. I think he has I think he does a Kickstarters for these. His art is awesome. I guess he used to play Overpower back in the day, and I think you can find him around on the Facebook. This is awesome. I was worried we were gonna get 1 copy, so this is cool. I can split 2 with my brother. And then we have a foil Hades. So these are cool. I really like these. I just really hope that the guys at Lazarus Rising will go in and really examine what a promo is. I think just having them available for the people that want them, during that time frame, and making them a little harder a little bit later on. I just think some of them are just printed a little often, and I'm gonna open this up. This is just the starter decks. I wish we could have had a little thing I could have wished on the Kickstarter is maybe have some of those tiers have like a ton of booster boxes, or maybe being able to switch some of these out for booster boxes. So I'm gonna have a lot of these that I don't necessarily need. I'll make a side little tangent real quick. I just did a little video where I was doing a mailbag opening, and I I noticed I had totally missed this package over here. It's the last non holo DC card I was missing, so yeah, I'm glad to have that, add that to the collection. We'll just wanted to get that out of the way real quick, but back over to here. These boxes come with 3 of each starter deck, so there's 4 starter decks. We have in a row, so I'm probably going to keep I'll probably keep one of these exactly like this. Maybe I'll sleeve them up, that way I can just like show friends how to play. This is the only place to get missions, events. I think I'm getting like 3 of these for myself, so I'm only going to need like 2 rows of these. I'm going to have like 2 extra boxes worth, so I'll probably be selling those somewhere, but I don't want to mark those off because I didn't buy this stuff to make money off of people or scalp or anything like that. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. I don't have the New York Comic Con boxes out here, but I believe I should have grabbed those boxes out, but the boxes, these are, I think they look bigger than the other ones. There's definitely some different changes on the box itself. This is one of the, I'll probably just open one of these on camera. This is one of the ones that, I think it's this deck right here, so I just wanted to see if there's anything in here that looks different. I love, they were saying this retro thing. I was not expecting an instruction book, like, or at least a little how-to play. This is amazing. I still have like several monumental ones from back in the day. And this whole tab doesn't want to rip, but I have scissors, so always be careful when you're opening these, but this one's pretty simple. So here we have some cards, yeah, like off the bat, you can see like a little difference in these. Obviously this is just part of the sleeve, but yeah, this one doesn't have the numbers on the bottom. There's a little bit of difference there, nothing too crazy, so that's probably the biggest difference. I'm sure they may have tightened up a few things here. Somebody had mentioned that the power cards in here, let's just look at these real quick, then I won't really look at Headless Horseman too much later, but this art is fantastic. Their team really just knocked it out of the park. I love almost every single, almost all the cards. Don't love this mummy. I think there's some of the alternate ones I love a little bit more, but like this just feels like an old movie, like watching the Mummy. And this is what's kind of fun about this set, is I kind of feel like I'm living my childhood, like all these movies I watched. I've never done a whole lot with Cthulhu, just more of aware of him. I was more of a Robert E. Howard fan, so this art is fantastic. Very much appreciate that. It's like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's fantastic. I do appreciate that they put the art here. That was something that the artist name, that was something that I asked for and I kept asking about. It doesn't look like there's a set symbol, which is, or at least a rarity symbol on here, so that's a little disappointing. Then we go here, Joe Jusko, like, just amazing. Like this, it's so cool having just art like this. I've read like one Tarzan book, so it's not something I am really familiar with. And I've seen a couple of the old movies. Man, this art is fantastic. Man, is this like that guy who goes to the island with all the little people, or is this also Tarzan? I'm assuming that's the case since it says Edgar Rice Burroughs. So, Invisible Man. these are pretty great compared to a lot of the old Overpower cards. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Like this half of her top is a bikini top, and then this half is, I don't remember what the Greek robes are called. The toga's Roman, and it's definitely not a chitin. Yeah, I love it. I would have loved to see Medusa in here. Athena, that's my girl. Have a Billy the Kid. I always thought that was an odd include. I would have thought like Wyatt Earp or something like that would have. Butch Cassidy and Sundance. This movie's cool. Love that. I guess this would be modern. It would have been cool to have like an alternate version also with like the pyramids in their glory. Morgan Le Fay looks fantastic. We have Cthulhu. Looks like we have some of the gods in here. There's Zeus and Poseidon down there. We got the Headless Horseman. Kind of wonder how they decide who's what, because you think this dude is just a little stronger than that guy. Hercules, he's cool. They have a little bit of universe cards. So these are pretty similar. I won't go through all those and bore you with that, but each deck has 4 characters. Every deck's exactly the same. I don't know how they play against each other. I lost the one game I had a chance to play with my brother. But here, this is the main event. We have our booster box. We'll get this plastic off, and then we'll take a look at it. Has their logo over it. So these guys are the printers, the same people who do Magic. So it's fun having a full-size box with 36 packs in it. Wizards of the Coast recently lowered theirs to 30. I do feel the price of these is a little high still, but we'll see. I think there might be a good experience here, just with the way that they've made this draftable. I don't see anything that says like the box contents. I believe these are 36 packs, so I would have thought this would have had to say the contents on there, but we'll just keep going. This box art is fantastic. Their team did a good job of overall with the art direction. I really appreciate that attention to detail. Here we go. We'll do our first pack, the Stegosaurus pack. Let's see if I can open these. Opens a little easier than most Magic card packs. We'll see. I do know all the alternate art rares are the rares. All the alternate arts are the rare cards. So we have the Angry Mob. There's a couple of variants of this, I believe, that are. So yeah, there's some that are like Middle Ages and Industrial Age, I think, is the other ones. Yeah, I kind of like how some of this art's a little bit cartoony. These little bats in here, I'm assuming they're bats. I think I would have also liked to see maybe the name of the character right above here. That would just give you so much more room on these cards to just admire the art. Have a little bit of a beat down that going on there. It's fun little guys fighting a Minotaur. We have the Invisible Man. I actually picked up this one's binder. It's kind of exciting. Hey, he's there. It's like a Gonzo Man. Looks like they have his actual name in there. So I don't even know his real name. I think I would like to see the full artist name there. Little feedback off the cuff. We have first location. Yeah, these are kind of the promos that we saw earlier, and then we'll see who the first alternate art card is. We have the Angry Mob Industrial Age. So there you go. These are all the uncommons. We'll just put those into their own little piles, and we'll keep going. I do appreciate how easy these are to open. So Merlin, he's one that I was kind of excited for. We'll slow down. At least the first time I see them, love to see the art. This card, love the art here. It's really dark. It's moody. Love the eyes there. Another Gonzo Man. I just know some of his art. I wonder if he made this for the set or they more like licensed it out for some of these. Kind of cool. We have Merlin and Zeus. So I know there was some kind of a story that was going to be done, and doesn't seem like anything ever happened for it. There we go. Professor Moriarty. I've heard he's pretty fantastic, so I'm excited to make some decks with these and hopefully start playing with some guys. So looks like here's our uncommons. We have a Joe Jusko art. There's a Deja Thoris. So these are all uncommons, but there's no icon here. It just would be really nice, like, to know, like, you know, if these get mixed up, how's somebody going to know which one's the uncommon? I really just wish that would have been thought of. Out here we have John Carter of Mars with the Gonzo Man art. I love it. Yeah, I'm really excited. I just watched the John Carter movie from like 10 years ago again the other day. I think that thing is better than people gave it credit for. I've only seen it twice and enjoyed it both times. So here we have Leonidas. Yeah, he looks pretty great. I don't know if I love the colors on it, but I do love the composition. They have a lot of really talented artists working on this. So, and I imagine that I think there's only like 30 people, so they're probably doing a lot of time crunch here. Yeah, that's awesome. I love the art. I love Greek things. So we have Tarzan here. Jusko is the main artist. I'm curious which cards he actually made for the set and which ones were kind of licensed from the Edgar Rice Burroughs business, but pretty cool. We have this horseman, the queen, and play Sweeney Todd or something. Yeah, I'd love to see a World Legends too. I really do. Three Musketeers, All for One, Zorro, 3 quick strokes, and the Sheriff of Nottingham. Again, like, the last card in the pack can be rare or ultra rare. Who knows which one's which? I guess the only way to know is like which one did you get a bunch of, and which one did you get a lot less of. Captain Nemo. I think he's supposed to be like Indian. He looks kind of like a white guy here, but I haven't read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea in a long time. Yeah, I love this art. Like, a lot of times I don't love just straight on front compositions, but there's just it's at a good mood there. Good job. Cool. Yeah, this Mina Harker is fantastic. I have the playmat. I was gonna put those out and I didn't. But maybe for the next video I'll do that. Yeah, I love the Extraordinary Gentleman movie, and it's kind of fun putting all this together. Another location. 2 in 1 pack, and then we have a Korak, so it's kind of fun. It looks like he's doing a few of the ERB characters there. Anybody out there been opening these and enjoying them? Here we have Philip Tan. I think it was Philip Tan. There's a couple Tans. I think it was Billy Tan also. Art's fantastic. Again, I think it should be the whole name of the artist. That would just be a little bit easier than somebody has the same last name. Very excited to be throwing these cards. This art is fantastic, and that's why they put it on the wrapper. Poseidon, this is one I was very excited for. So I have a couple deck ideas for there, and yeah, I'm excited to hopefully maybe throw some up on the Discord and play with somebody at some point. Any home bases? We have some Teamworks. Then we have a alternate art Zorro. Yeah, that's just really cool. I love the no text there. I think that is a really cool move. you know, we have a Cthulhu. So one thing, like, you know, he's in this deck, so it's when you're opening these, it's, you know, it's going to be fun to draft, but it kind of loses excitement when I know every single one of these has a Cthulhu. But the art is good. I don't know much about Cthulhu. I've never read any of those short stories, which are probably back in like the old Weird Tales or Strange Tales pulp books. I think there's supposed to be foils in here too. So we have another Angry Mob. I haven't seen any foils yet. I think it's like pack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're 1/6 of the way in. Haven't seen a foil yet, so hopefully we'll start seeing some love soon. Anubis, he has some cool things. Yeah, just I need to see who these artists are. Again, full name, guys. I want to track down this art. So that's cool. Anubis and Ra in the same pack. Of course, Ra is one of the Egyptian gods. I love mythology, so keep those coming. World Legends too. That would super excite me. Sheriff of Nottingham, and then Anubis. So that's my second pack so far where I've had the character stack in the same pack with the alternate art. Next we have another Professor Moriarty, so another stack of those, so we will skip over him. We have the Wicked Witch of the West. She looks great. Look at that face. Like, this artist is Santos. Every single card that Santos is doing is they're the ones that I'm stopping and like being like, hey, this art is amazing. I had totally forgot that she has silver slippers and ruby slippers. I have an old book that my grandpa had as a kid. It's like a 1905 or something copy of The Wizard of Oz. So that's a fun thing that I have sitting in the top shelf of my kid's room. He's 2, so he can't get to it, but one day we'll let him read it. Here we go. I have a alternate art. What's her name? Bella. I follow her on Instagram, so that was pretty cool when they announced that she was going to be making some stuff for the set. So we have another Mina, so we'll just skip over her. And Three Musketeers are also in one of these. This art is Santos again, so I think that Santos is probably my favorite artist from the set so far. We have Aramis, Athos, D'Artagnan, Porthos. I think they did a good job of kind of capturing the essence of those characters there. Do we have some? We have a 6 any power. Sorry, 7. I can't read. Then we have 221 Baker Street. This thing is. We have the Mina right there, but this thing's gonna be good. Anytime that you play a card that reveals source and looks at the opponent's hand or draw pile, you may choose one of those cards and discard it. Card advantage, that's gonna be a big thing. Yes, this art is so good. Not Santos. I had to check. Alright, so we have a Count of Monte Cristo. He is great. The guy who wrote this is Alexander Dumas. I got to see his grave in Paris, and his father was one of Napoleon's generals, so it's kind of a fun little fact. Looks like I have a foil stack coming up. You can see some stuff shining through. I'm just admiring the art. Good job rendering those birds. They look perfect. Yeah, so that looks really nice. I'm just gonna go back and compare this to one of those character ones. There's a Zeus in here. So looks like this card is just kind of foil all over. This card looks like it's more like the foil is less on the actual character. So that's something that's nice. I'm glad that these aren't exactly the same. So nice work there. Yeah, we'll look at these just because they're the foil. It looks really nice. I don't know if they're doing they're doing that 3D effect on every card, so that's pretty fun. That feels really good. I do Magic, and a lot of foils in Magic feel pretty disposable. That feels pretty special, so I do have to say I do appreciate that. Getting a lot of the locations, which is kind of nice, and we'll see. We have a foil, a little alternate art Sherlock Holmes, so we'll just put that there, just with the little foil pile. That foiling looks really nice in person. I will sleeve these up as soon as we're off of the video. We have another Anubis and Ra in the same pack, so there's some I don't know if the pack, what's the word you want, the distribution of the packs that feels a little weird to have that happen twice in the same box. So here we have an alternate art Merlin. That's pretty cool. Yeah, love the colors there. They is this Santos? I just have to look. It's not. Wilton Santos. I know that because I've heard Joe say the person's name so many times in different all hands. So we'll kind of go past the Angry Mob again. We have a Sun Wukong. He looks great. Always liked the Monkey King story, and it wasn't for a long time that I found out Dragon Ball Z was based on it. Never had a chance to play that new game that came out last year or earlier this year. It looked really good though. Just haven't had a chance to play any video games. So a couple of uncommons here. We have an alternate art Dracula, so we can place it with some alternate art vampires. One thing that is kind of, I don't know if I love that all the rares are character cards. It feels like if you bought much of this, which, they're making it so you don't have to, but there's still that chase I want you to do. I feel like I'm just gonna have a lot of character cards. So we'll see how that pans out. We have the Billy the Kid. Again, he's in one of the decks over there, but we have the full character set here. This feels like a Western. That art is fantastic. I think that might be one of my new favorites so far. Yeah, just a little, we'll see how the chase pans out. I'm hoping that there's a little bit more rarity in some things, or variety in what's rare. I'm not saying I want stuff to be really expensive or anything like that. It just seems we're going to end up with a lot of heroes, and so that was a problem with the original game, and that was why they came out with battle sites, so you can shuffle your old 3-star heroes into your deck and still use them, because a lot of people spend a lot of money or time collecting those, and they wanted to play with those cards. So we'll see what the team decides to do. I can't remember if we looked through Carson of Venus's stuff. A lot of these characters just look kind of similar, Carson of Venus and Tarzan and John Carter are all shirtless, buff guys, and I don't know Carson of Venus very well. I've only read the first couple books from Edgar Rice Burroughs, so the Zora art is fantastic. I think I heard that Gonzo Man did the whole, or all the Zoro specials, and it looks like he did, so that is cool. I love seeing this art. Like, one thing I do appreciate is the variety. You have this and you have this. Like, the art is just completely different. I love Spartans. I do kind of wonder why the greatest soldiers in history are them, like, working out. It seems like you should have, like, a cool battle scene for this instead. But Leonidas looked really cool. I think just maybe, like, having these guys standing at attention maybe would have been a cooler way to represent that. Here we go, we have a Lancelot. That's neat. Still not seeing a whole lot of foil cards, so hopefully we get a few more stacks in here. I have a lot more boxes to open as well, like later. I haven't seen this Industrial Age one yet. We have another Zorro stack, so we can kind of quickly go through there. King Arthur, so it's kind of nice to have the... I'm also wondering if we're going to start seeing a lot of like certain specials, or like, because there's 3 different angry mobs, so are we going to see 3 times as many angry mobs, or do they have a 1 in 3 chance of being the different ones? There's a few kind of things I have questions about. I also know nothing about Victory Harbin, but her cards look cool. Jane Porter. Yeah, I like it. It just feels like there should be something there, but it's pretty. None of the art, like my last video I made, was just kind of doing a mail thing. None of the art in here is bad. There's a couple pieces that I don't love, but everything looks pretty nice. Joan of Arc, she's cool. I like her little armor. It's like gods protecting her or something like that, which is kind of a neat touch. If I do remember though, I think Joan of Arc has some of the art. That's the card. Just seems like we're seeing 2 different characters. I don't like how the artist drew her hair here. And Joan of Arc was like 16 or something when she died, so just doesn't feel like I'm looking at the same character. So a little bit more consistency, like, you know, card to card would have been nice. But I like a lot of these other ones as well. Never been to Paris, I recommend it. Good food. There we go. We have a foil card with a huge runner mark in that. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a huge runner mark, bowler mark going down that card. It's kind of disappointing to see on like your foil rare, ultra rare, whatever that is. So we have Billy the Kid. We have our second foil stack. We have a time traveler. We haven't seen him yet. I want to know what the story is. Like the comic book they kind of said they wanted to do. I would have loved to have seen it. If they have a script, maybe we can have the gentleman who made those 7 fighting or combat cards give him some work. I'm sure he's busy with his own book, but I'd love to see the script on that. I want to know what the story would have been. So I think it just kind of sounds interesting. There we go. I have not seen Hercules, so this one maybe is the ultra rare. Yeah, it's cool. I like how they have the line on there. It looks like this shadow is pretty far off on this card. I wonder if a lot of them are like that, but it would have also been cool if maybe they said like Heracles and like had it in like a Greek font. Just for the ultra rare, I think that would have been a pretty cool touch. Like maybe make the name of the character appear in like the language that the character speaks, or native language or whatever. So we have Captain Nemo. We've seen him. Here we go. We have our first Zeus. Love Zeus. I am interested on why they chose Hera in this role. I know Hera did, she's not as much known for combat, I think, than some other characters. I think his daughter Athena would have been great there, just saying, but love the art. It's a little bit of a modern version of the Greek gods, which I'm here for it. I'm here for the Greek gods every day. That's cool. We have a foil there. It was this one. We have a Invisible Man, alternate art. We're gonna just go back to the promos, and I think was this one of them. So that was not one. So I was just curious if the foiling was different, because this one doesn't seem like it does that popping thing like the others. We'll just put that there. I don't think I've gotten any other foil cards that were not in stacks or anything like that. So we have a King Arthur, pretty great. I don't know if he would have had a wooden shield. It kind of depends on which version of the King Arthur legend you're going with, but it seems more should have a little bit more than wood right there. But King of Camelot, this would have been cool, like sitting in Camelot on his throne or something. But I do love the art. I think maybe just maybe it doesn't make sense for the card itself. Like that one, King of Camelot. I don't know. I'm not the designer. This one I don't love the pose here. It's just a little undynamic. Like his arm here, just don't love the pose. The artist is good though. I think another couple thumbnails might have got a cool result. We have a Zeus here. And let's start a new common and uncommon, or common pile. I think in the legend Zeus or Poseidon is said to have dark hair, so he just makes me really think of Aquaman, which isn't a bad thing, but just an observation. We have two of the same card in the pack. I do have to say the foiling on this one looks really cool, and I think this was one. Maybe it's not. I swear that I have one of these in foil somewhere. Oh, and we have a new Mina from Bella. I thought I had my other cards next to me, but I have a different binder, so I don't have a way to compare that. So I will just move on. Another Cthulhu. Let's get by him. We have not seen Robin Hood yet. Brush out. He's cool. Who doesn't love Robin Hood? Band of Merrymans. We have a Little John and I don't know who these guys represent. This might have been a cool one to show, like him hitting that target, because they always have those stories where he's shooting one arrow and then he's splitting the arrow. That's funny. Steal from the rich. He's a little charmer. So we have our comments here. I'm starting to get a lot of these multi-power, or the single power cards in foil. We have a Leonidas alternate art that is so good. I have a New York Comic Con one, and I saw the art and I was just like, yep, you guys are doing a lot of good things. And if anyone out there thinks that I am being a little too nitpicky on the art, I went to art school, so I did this for lots. I do this all the time, just looking at art, critiquing things, seeing how I can learn from things myself. I do not work professionally as an artist because I went into tech instead. But I enjoy art and just looking and seeing the process that a different artist use. So here we have a Joan of Arc foil. It looks like we have some curling, so it's not too bad. I have some really bad ones from Magic, but it looks really fairy bookish. The way that this is kind of hits her armor, like these look really good. Like I don't know if yeah, they just look really good. Like they pop in ways that I don't see from Magic, which is the only other card game I play, because card games are just expensive. So here we have Morgan Le Fay. This is another character I'm working on a deck with, her and Poseidon, with some fun going on. Yeah, she looks. I love this art, turning a rabbit into a cat, or a cat into a rabbit. Who knows which? Yeah, again, it just seems like if I'm playing this character, I feel like I should be seeing her throughout the art, which I don't mind different costumes, but it seems like we're seeing kind of a different version of the character. Don't think I love the face here. It just looks a little off. I like everything else in here, but I do wish that there was a little bit more uniformity to some of the costumes. I have another Zeus. We'll skip by there. These are cool. Haven't seen this one. I have Sekhmet. Target character must remove one place card. Seems good. Seems good. Excited to try that out. We have another time traveler, which I think there was I think I had another time traveler here somewhere. We do. So one of these is the ultra rare and one is not. So we have number 527 and 528F. So it looks like the foils have a different number there, which is nice. I think like maybe a star or something might look might just look a little cooler, like when you're reading those texts there. And then just a little feedback. Some of these, they're kind of hard to read. I think maybe just in the future printings or the next set, it'd be nice to just see a little. I think we had him in like my first pack, one of the first packs, so we'll go over him. But yeah, it would be nice to just make that a little bit more readable. We have another Wicked Witch. I wonder how much of the characters you'll get in a box. So there's 36 packs, so you get 74. Is that right? Different characters. I haven't seen this Count of Monte Cristo. I feel like the other one didn't have an inherent ability, so if I see another one come up, we'll see if that's the case. I feel like I think I'm gonna just look really fast because I feel like that's the case. Yeah, so he doesn't have an inherent ability on the base one, so I wonder which one of these is correct. Dracula, this art is really cool. Good job. Yeah, fantastic. Then at the same point, I do like seeing different versions of Dracula because he just kind of transforms throughout all those stories, and maybe there's some Morgan Le Fay things that I haven't read. So here it is. I'm enjoying these different versions of the same character. So it is what it is. I get it's, and art is subjective. So if you like it, give that a thumbs up. If you don't, downvote the shit out of it. So here we have some more uncommons. Haven't seen this one yet, I don't think. I'm assuming I'm pretty close to having all the locations. If I don't, this Cthulhu is pretty cool. I love how big he is with the ship, and I don't know if it's a rock right there. If anyone at home that's watching this, did you open your boxes? Did you get what you wanted? This is one I don't think I like the art of, actually. It might be the colors that I don't like. I remember seeing this one like on the Kickstarter page. It didn't like wow me very much, but that's okay. Like, not everything has to do that. It's fun. I probably should get caught up on some of these. I've never really spent too much time with Tarzan. Mostly just know him from really old movies. Yeah, he's cool. He's fighting some like albino vampire bats. I think we could all get behind a little Van Helsing. Would have been cool to have some licensing through like Universal Studios or something, and get like art for we have Deja and Carson, so we've seen both of those before, so we'll just pass those over. Yeah, it would have been fun to see some movie monsters as alternate art. Yeah. Robin Hood. I wonder if he has any specials like good old Hawkeye and you can play in reserve. Dr. Watson. A lot of people were saying I think he's going to be like one of the best ones from reserve, so I'll just look through these John Carter ones again, because man, Joe Jessica's art is just so nostalgic, and so people just don't make art like that for this kind of stuff very often, so it's cool to see. She looks like some kind of World of Warcraft villain. I kind of like that. So we have another Morgan Le Fay. I wonder if they're doing some sort of like, because the first Morgan Le Fay card, she did look a little younger in it. I wonder if there's something where they're kind of showing her over her kind of course of her career here. Modern age here. We've seen some of the Kong as well. Alternate art of the Mummy. I love that. Man, these artists they got to do the set are crushing it. The art is very impressive to see in person. Another Poseidon. Man, I hope I get some more character stacks. I've only got 2. I was hoping I'd get a few more than that. So another. She's like antlers, kind of interesting. So, yeah. So I'm wondering if this one is the normal rare. Since got 2 of those, I would imagine that means it's more common. This is the first pack that I didn't really want to open for me. Another Angry Mob. I feel like I've gotten a lot of, 3 or 4 of them, and finally getting Mr. Hyde, so I really hope that's not the case, that these are 3 times more likely than any other hero or character. We'll look at Mr. Hyde a little bit. 3566. I haven't read this book in so long, I don't remember if he was smart when he was Mr. Hyde as well. I always thought it was like that split personality thing, so possible that he is still a little smart there. Oh man, Little Red Riding Hood. She would be fun. That Wicked Witch looks nothing like the other one. Yeah, that one's pretty drastic. Like she doesn't even look like the same character. Getting a big old pile of packs over here. I think in the next video, if I do any more of these, I'll probably have the box off camera or something like that, so just a little more space. Yeah, that's amazing. That's why it's the box art. The star of the show. And there's just so much like motion here, like good job, Joe. That art is fantastic. His Facebook is totally worth a watch. He posts a lot of interesting things. Shares a lot of art, a lot of insight into things. So yeah, we have both versions of Heracles. There's certain arts where he plays the drop shadow. Just looks like it's pretty severe, so I don't know if it's like treated the same on everyone and then just applied everywhere, or if it's Visible Man. We saw him earlier, or if that drop shadow is a made for each one. Well, that is That is very cool. Joe Kubert, rest in peace. I almost went to the Kubert Art School a long time ago, and then I decided I didn't want to move across the country, and just never did. But the Kuberts are fantastic. I would love to see Adam or Andy do something. I just supported Andy Kubert's Kickstarter as well. There's a Andy's X-Men art, and so that was this one feels heavier than the other packs. Like maybe no, it definitely like feels heavier. That's weird. I wonder if maybe it's a foil. Maybe there's a stack in here and it's actually heavy enough that you can tell. Oh, it's my first Hercules in there's a character stack, so that's cool. He's one on my radar because, as I mentioned before, I like their guts. Also a Tars Tarkus. It would have been cool if there was more Joe Jusko art for Tars, but it's good stuff. We have a alternate art Three Musketeers. Yeah, it's the base one is just so good. Alright, so hopefully let's get another foil stack. You know, so far the foil stacks have been the second one and the two that I've gotten, but it's like we're not getting a foil stack here. We'll start a new pile, and we have our first Professor Moriarty, unless I got one previous one, I can't remember, but here we go. We have our last pack from my first box. We have Robin Hood. We have Zeus, so I got 3 Zeuses, so that means I have a lot of Thunderbolts, which I think I would want to have quite a few of that card in a deck. Then we have Teamworks, and then we have a Tarzan. So yeah, I didn't so we got a time traveler stack, a mummy stack, which they look fantastic. So I lose a card. We have these foil rares, maybe ultra rares, you can say. I do see some curling on there, so hopefully that's not too severe, but it's curling this way instead of this way, which I think everybody would much rather have. I think that Zeus foil is my favorite one. Yeah, what do you guys think? Yeah, I'd love to know what your heroes you're looking for, or you're getting excited about. Yeah, hope to see you guys around. Have a good night.